Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
Listening to the Jill Bennett Show on 980 CKNW.
Well, this is not something you see every day. It is something that's going to be happening coming up in just a few days at BCIT on April 22nd, and it is part of a bigger event. But this in particular is a Guinness World Record attempt, and it is going to be the attempt to break the most baseball bats with a single shin kick. Joining me to talk more about this is Kim Carlton, who is going to be attempting to break that record. Kim, thank you so much for being able to come on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, this is pretty exciting that this is happening coming up in just a few days. But take us back. How did you get involved in this?
In the record break or just in martial arts itself?
Let's start with martial arts, because I know you're also a former professional MMA fighter.
That's right. My father was a hand-to-hand combat instructor in the armed forces. He was a military hand-to-hand combat instructor. So you kind of have to learn when your dad's the instructor in the army. Right. When you step out of line, you can learn how to block.
Okay, fair enough. So you kind of fell into it, or not fell into it, but came by it in a pretty organic way. You must enjoy it, though.
It's my life. It's been my life since I started when I was 5 years old. So it's been my life. And when my dad retired from the service, they enrolled me into Shotokan karate and Kyokushin karate and stuff like that. So I've been involved in it my whole life.
And that brings us to breaking baseball bats. How did you start doing that?
I started training Kyokushin Kaikan karate, which was a little bit different than the Shotokan. Where Shotokan, you kick with the ball of your foot and the edge of your foot. Where in Kyokushin, you kick with your shins, and it's a very powerful kick. And I watched a movie one time where they were doing some demonstrations and they broke a baseball bat with their shin. And I thought that'd be kind of cool because I did have a hard shin kick. This was when I was about 17 years old. So I went and bought myself a baseball bat and I've been hooked ever since.
And how was it then going from that one discipline to another when it was a totally different kind of kick?
Oh, it's a big difference. The styles are so similar. The Kyokushin was Masoyama was a student of Sensei Funakoshi of the Shotokan. He just changed it a little bit, so it wasn't too bad, but it was more my style, more of a hardcore full contact style.
And did you take to it right away, or was it a learning curve that ended up with some bruised shins at some point?
The only time I've ever really hurt my shin was on my way to a tournament. I dropped a clearly Canadian seltzer bottle on my shin and fractured my shin on the way to a breaking competition. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. It landed on my shin, and so I ended up having to do my left shin instead of my right shin to the baseball bats.
And how was that? I would imagine you were trained to do it one way and then having to switch it right at the last minute.
I've always been an ambidextrous fighter. I've always been ambidextrous.
Oh, is that pretty common or no?
No, it's not.
No.
Not at all.
Wow. So does that give you a bit of an advantage, being ambidextrous?
It really does. It really does when it comes to fighting, especially. And I used to fight pro, but I also did the breaking competition, breaking bricks, and breaking competition and stuff. And then the next day I'd have my professional fight in the evening. But I was still doing it. I've never really hurt myself. Part of martial arts is knowing your limitations and knowing what you can and can't do, right?
Right. What other things have you broken or do you practice with or part of your routine as far as breaking things?
Yeah, it's more of a routine than practicing. You don't really practice a lot. You know, when you're getting started, you do smaller bricks. But I do patio slabs. My personal best is 22 patio slabs. 2 by 8 by 16 concrete slabs. I also open hand slab coconuts with a bare hand slab. I do coconuts. But my claim to fame is definitely the baseball bats. I've done 3 Louisville sluggers taped together with my left and my right leg in one tournament.
Wow. And I understand too then that currently there isn't a Guinness World Record for this specifically?
Not for this one specifically. There is guidelines though, and the kick that I have to use on this, I'm used to using my shin kick, but it's more of a Muay Thai style kick to the side of a leg motion. And when I signed up for this, I didn't get the parameters. It takes 15 weeks for them to get me my package, and I get the package and the parameters. Usually, I my 3 baseball bats. They're in a triangle, grouped together with the barrels at the bottom and the handles at the top, and I go through with the shin kick. But these parameters here, they said the bats have to be stacked one on top of another in succession, and the barrel at one end, handle at the other end, and then alternating. And I had already agreed that the record is 3. From my understandings, I think someone attempted it. They made the guidelines and then failed at it. But it also has to be a groin-style kick from the floor to ceiling, so they have to be lined up on top of each other instead of to the side. And I'm not used to doing that kick, so that's been my practice. I've been wondering, practicing the muscle memory to get my kick the different way that I'm used to.
And how much is it physical and how much is it mental?
You got to be pretty mental to do something like this.
That's not what I meant.
I'm 53 years old. It's mental. I live with my baseball bats in my hand. Like, I got the baseball bats. I have them set up in my living room. I take them. I carry them around with me. I get them in my head. They become part of my life. And at this point, I was just telling my girlfriend last night that I can't vision me not doing this break. I can't vision me any scenario where I'm not going to go through all the bats.
Right. Okay. And I would imagine that's pretty important. That if you are visioning it not happening, that's going to work against you.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why you work everything out. You go because I have to do my hips going to go a certain way. This kick, I'm just not used to doing the groin kick situation, right? And it's going to be from floor to ceiling. There's a lot of parameters involved in it.
So are you going to attempt, though, on your own? Will you attempt this, say, at home or somewhere else, so you know 100% that you can do this when it comes time to doing the kick for the record? Or when you do the kick for the record, is that going to be the first time?
I haven't broken a baseball bat since 2019, I believe. I was at my last tournament. I did one baseball bat at that tournament. I haven't done any since, and I'm not going to practice. I'm not going to risk hurting myself. I'm just practicing my techniques. I know my shins are conditioned for it, but I haven't done it in, 3 years now? So it's going to be my first time. It's my first time doing a baseball bat, and definitely in 3 years, and definitely my first time ever attempting 4 baseball bats at one time in succession with this kind of a kick.
Wow. And are you nervous about it?
No. No, I'm not.
That's good. I would imagine that's probably an important part of it as well.
It really is. Not letting it get to you, not letting you, I'm not trying to overthink it, but I'm just trying to get it to the point where I did last night. I realized last night this is happening. Another big thing for me is my dad will be there. My dad's coming.
And has your dad come to other competitions or other events?
He did years ago, but he's getting a bit older now. So he's actually, my nephews are bringing him out to me, so it's really important to me too, so.
Oh, wow. So there's going to be a lot going on when it comes time for you to do this on the 22nd.
There really is. I'm 53 years old now, so this is my last chance to make a footprint on this world, right? So, and I'm going for 4 baseball bats. The current record is set for 3, so I could do 3, but I want to do 4 because I really don't see too many people trying to do 5.
Right. And why tie the record when you have a chance at breaking it?
Well, I wouldn't be tying it because whoever tried it failed.
Oh, right.
So I could do 3, but I have one kick at the kitty here. So
interesting. And so you've got so you've gone one up that you could actually get this record with 3. I could. But 4 to me looks really very, very, very doable, and I know I can do it. It's not even an attempt at this point. It's just waiting to get there and do it. It's going to be done. Are there other people or many others that do this?
I know of one years ago. I was doing a heart fundraiser down in the States for a little girl who needed a heart transplant, and as a martial arts guy's son, and we were doing some fundraising, and I did a break down there with my shin, and then a week later I saw a guy attempting on the news and he broke his leg. I have personally never seen anybody else do it. I know people have done it, but I've never seen him do it. I had a friend message me last night, and his friend wants to attempt breaking a baseball bat, so they called me to get some input on it and stuff. So I gave him some pointers and stuff.
And when you mentioned the other guy broke his leg, is that kind of the most common thing if things go bad, or do you not even think about that?
Yeah, I don't think about it. If you don't swing hard enough and you just hit the bat, you're not going to break your leg. It's going to hurt like heck, but you're not going to break the bat. If the person holding the bat moves, you're going to break your leg.
That actually was my other question. What are the bats in when you hit them?
Usually I just have the bottom of the bat, because I usually have them standing up and down. I have it in a concrete patio slab with a guy laying on the ground with his feet against it, and another guy up top holding it with straight arms. But this one here, I actually had a friend of mine, Jason Fenlow, he has a welding company, weld me up an actual rack for this to hold the bat tight and in place with handles so people can hold them on the sides.
And is that better? Because you would hate for this to go sideways because the person holding the bat moves it.
There's no way someone would be able to hold 4 baseball bats
right.
with their hands. There's no way. Now, it's going to take close to 1,500 pounds per square inch of pressure to hit these bats. And because they're in succession like that, not in a group, it's going to be a very fast kick. Because I can't just kick 4 bats in a group and go through 2 inches. I have to go through 8 inches of travel, one bat after another with one single kick. So it's going to be a very hard kick.
Wow. Well, I know this is happening at the BC Open Martial Arts Championships at BCIT this coming Saturday. Do you know what time your event is?
The event starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. It goes to 5:30. But I'm going to be having the center stage, so right around between 12, I believe, and 1, in around there, whenever they're done the Wushu Championships, the forms. But it's a great tournament. Everybody wants to come down and check it out. They should check out the tournament, too. I've been doing this tournament here since I was 17 years old. My kids have done this tournament, so it's a really big deal for me to do it in front of my martial arts family.
All right. Well, this is going to be amazing. And I'm hoping maybe we can have you back on and talk about this after the event on Saturday.
Yeah, we can do an interview from the hospital bed, maybe.
Oh, well, I hope not. But if you're up for it, okay.
I'm just trying to keep light of it. But no, absolutely. I'd love to be back on your show and let you know how it goes.
All right. I look forward to it. Kim, best of luck to you. We're all going to be cheering for you on Saturday. And thanks so much for talking to us today.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Kim Carlton. He is going to be attempting to break a Guinness World Record, breaking 4 baseball bats in 1 shin kick. That's taking part as part of the BC Open Martial Arts Championships at BCIT. It's happening this Saturday from 9:30 till 5:30. The Guinness World attempt, his attempt around the 1 o'clock hour. And again, best of luck to Kim doing that. So we'll pause there when we come back, a hit and a miss, and we'll find out what's coming up next. Stay with us.